We kind of talked about Jay-Z and ticket prices last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know he added a second night and
He added a third night.
third night. And one of my friends is actually going, and I know what he paid to go there.
How much did he pay?
I think he put up over 2 G's.
There's no way. For a ticket?
Ain't no way, boy.
I'm talking about ticket, everything.
Ticket, hotel.
That's because that's more than face value. I think face value.
You saying ticket, hotel, plane ticket?
I think all that was inclusive of the way I understood it. It's not like the tickets was 2 G's. It's
Okay.
like all of that.
So you have to kind of break that. You have to say that too.
So what I would say would be the tickets will probably be anywhere
500.
3 to 5, 3 to 6, 3 to 7, somewhere in there.
That sounds
about right.
That
right, for
sounds
Yankee
about
Stadium?
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the going price for these tickets for everybody right now. Honestly,
Wouldn't Jay's ticket prices be more than the norm? This is a moment because it's
but
the
it's also on a
anniversaries.
baseball
yeah,
stadium.
it's a baseball stadium,
That's
so
fair.
there's a
That's
lot
fair.
more seats.
That's fair. That's fair.
And there's 3 nights.
That's true.
Yeah.
So to what extent can Jay-Z be held responsible for the face value and the dynamic pricing models that often price out the very fans who supported his rise?
What do y'all think? Because I think that question is valid because at some point there's a side of people that will say Jay already got it. Just celebrate the albums and have the ticket prices more reasonable so people can come out and just have a good time.
And go to the Roots picnic then.
Mm-hmm.
True. But the other side of it is like, nah, he's earned this. He should be able to charge whatever he wants to charge and people are still going to show up. Right?
The
So
capitalists.
I can't, do we guilt him for the prices or
Yes.
we do? That's what I'm asking.
But,
Do we guilt him for the prices or do
Same
we
thing I
not?
said last week. Yes, we do.
We do. 100%?
But what if, because I know a lot of these tickets get snatched up by bots and are immediately put onto
True.
There you
the
go.
resale
Yep.
market. You know, is there an artist responsibility to try to make sure that your tickets are actually bought by your fans as opposed to a bunch of robots and resellers? You know, I mean, but you can make the same same thing for any concert. You know, that goes all the way to like the people who buy up all the sneakers, the people who, you know, at one point were buying up PlayStation 5s. You know, they're just people who are out here trying to flip whatever it is based on, you know, whatever the market will bear.
I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that the artist can only control so much because there's so many collaborators or, you know, people that chop the tickets down and who does this and whatever company you want to use. So, you know, sometimes there's only so much the artist can do. Not every artist can just set a price point because everybody has to eat. Like all of the collaborators have to eat as well. So I think that helps with the ballooning of the price or whatever. So I have to remember that sometimes because it's so easy to say this artist is just these prices are outrageous and all that. I'm like, there's a lot of people that are involved in getting to this price point.
This is how this goes.
Do y'all agree that gets lost?
Yeah,
or no?
I feel that.
No.
But this is how you do that.
Mo said no.
This is how you do that. You wait till the day of the concert. There's
Okay.
going to be people that still have tickets that they did not liquidate.
Okay.
And you buy it that day.
Mm.
I mean, simple as that. They'll never be giving them away just because they're trying to recoup some money. But I mean, that's really the
Good
going
point.
price as far as tickets for these concerts go. Like I bought 2 tickets to Bruno Mars. It was $800.
That's
You know what I'm
ridiculous.
saying?
though.
It is. It
That
is.
is ridiculous.
I mean, like,
But like to his point, he's talking about you're not only paying the artist, you're paying other people and things of that
we know
nature.
that.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of collaborators to these ticket prices. Go Lon, what you thinking, man?
It's the same shit we said last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did have the exact same conversation
I
last
mean,
week, but
it's how much does it cost to go to a baseball game?
it's expensive.
It's
Depending on
expensive.
what team you
Depending
go
on
see,
what
though.
team you go to.
On
Yeah.
what night
If you,
they're
go
playing.
if you go see a Cubs game,
Yeah.
on a good day, it's going to cost you
Yeah.
Especially if it's rooftop.
And how much do baseball players make?
quite a bit of money.
Exactly.
Like 100 times what you would pay
Okay.
for those tickets.
Yeah, now,
do baseball tickets cost more than a Jay-Z ticket at the Yankee Stadium?
I bet you some of them do.
Some of the stadiums, yeah, they do.
Should Jay-Z be making $100 million per game?
But he's also renting out the stadium.
Yeah,
The baseball players aren't renting out the stadium. That's what pays for the stadium.
I think that's a cop out
How is that a cop out?
because I don't not necessarily a cop out. I think that if we're gonna really sit here and think that it's going to cost this much money for renting like this is built into it. This is built into the pricing. They know this. They know how much the venue's going to cost. They know how much all this stuff is going to cost. And then there's a bottom line on top of it.
Yeah.
So you're saying they getting all of that back through ticket prices?
Yes, ticket prices and merch and all that other stuff and everything like that.
Merch
Like,
is going to be ridiculous.
baseball players, especially Yankees baseball players,
Come on.
make a lot of money. And when you fracture that down to what that cost, like how much they make per home game,
Yeah.
are people going to tell me that I think Jay-Z should make, and don't get me wrong, Jay-Z should make money. I'm not saying Jay-Z shouldn't make money.
I feel you. Yeah.
But I feel like it's very disingenuous to say, I don't know, Jay-Z's barely going to be scraping by on this concert that he's going to do.
We know better than that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we
it's
know,
just
but
like-
we know better than that.
It's
Yeah,
like
we know
he's
better than
making millions upon millions at
He
these
is.
shows,
Facts.
and we know that.
Yeah.
that. True.
And, that I just don't think that should be lost. I don't think there's like, oh man, the difference between $300 and $100, like
Yeah.
I feel like pricing. I feel like you're pricing people out that can't afford it.
But they're still going to pay for it, though.
People are going to pay for it.
it sold out 3 times. So people paid whatever that ticket price
So
was.
what you're saying
But
is
who's buying it though?
I saw my timeline.
robots.
What type of fans? You know what I mean? Like, because there's a very much an argument that you're pricing out certain fans that can't afford it.
Well, a lot of people that are going up that probably bought tickets actually live in New York, too. So that eliminates the whole travel.
I didn't think
and
about that.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That
Sure.
eliminates that cost.
Yeah.
I imagine there was some early ticket sale links that went out at some point in time.
Yeah.
The price of tickets is crazy overall, period. We
Yeah.
already know that you're going to be price gouge for a ticket. I can buy a ticket to an event downtown, and if I get it on my phone versus going downtown and actually buying it myself, I'm going to save myself $50. You know what
This
I'm saying?
isn't a Jay-Z issue.
No,
what I'm
this
saying.
is just like
this is
this is a across the board.
Yeah.
Ticket sales period are crazy. I mean, because they're charging you a convenience fee
There you go.
just because it's being delivered to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
This is convenient for everybody. Now nobody at the park or wherever I'm going has to look at a paper ticket. All they're doing is scanning my phone.
the phone.
It's
Yep.
convenient for everybody. So why am I being charged convenience, which made everything convenient, and you don't have to pay for printing anything?
And you'd be like, this shit really ain't that
capitalism.
convenient.
Yeah. And then the other hidden costs. I mean, everything that we do has hidden costs.
I think part of this conversation I'm having too is also from the perspective of somebody who has thrown shows, understands all the details involved in everything. If I sell out a 400 cap venue at $25,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's say the artist walks away with $20 of that. That's probably a good night.
Shit, $20?
Out of the 25, it's probably still
20
a good,
out of the 25, not like you're giving.
Yeah, like-
here, thanks for your time. Here's $20.
I'm like, hold on.
He'd be like, damn, what kind of
Cherry-
shows do you throw?
Cherry was offended.
He
like,
can't
wait,
even
what?
get a pizza.
no, but if you think like from somebody who's throwing the show, if you get 5-10% or something, right? So let's say you take $5 from that
Yeah.
out of that 400 tickets, if that's 5 times 400, that's $2,000
Mhm.
right
Yeah.
off top. You know what I mean? Like that's a $25 ticket, 400 people. We're talking about 78,000 people at $400 a ticket. Granted, there's more mouths to feed. Sure, we know that.
Yeah.
But like, it's a
lot of money.
It's still a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money to sell out a 400. Like you can make a lot of money selling out a 400 cap venue.
Absolutely.
So like I know that going into this, I understand this intricately from both sides of this. I've lost money.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
made a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And so, and I understand how little you have to do well to turn a profit.
Yeah.
And so when I look at this from this perspective, I'm like, get your money from one perspective, but from the other, it's kind of like, I'm tired of that phrase.
Mm.
Mm.
I just
Especially from the people that were supposed to be like, that we want to champion. Things.
Understandable. But like, I mean,
That's fair.
me too. I've thrown events that breaking even or even just being able to pay the artists that perform some money for participating in it. That's a victory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're also in a smaller market. We don't get to see those numbers that these other artists are talking about. They're talking, you know what I'm saying?
True.
For us to even consider coming to your event, let's just say this wasn't even a tour. An artist like the baby is wanting $100 grand. You know what I'm saying? That's him. He's not a legacy artist. He wants $100 grand just to come
Just off
do
GP.
his show.
Yeah.
So imagine an artist at a Bruno Mars, a Jay-Z. I don't even want to see what he wants, because I think he just be like, nah, I'm going to decide when I go on tour. Nobody's ever going to, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to want to see that number.
Yeah.
Unless it's a chic overseas somewhere and want you to come perform at a wedding or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, some of it's kind of ridiculous too. I mean, again, this is like behind the scenes, understanding what artists want to come to different venues and stuff. Like being a part of Treese and understanding like some of those numbers some of the artists wants. You know, sometimes it's like, wow, that's not doable at all. That's not even reasonable. And other times it's like, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what about this? Like I said, this may be another part of the argument. At this point, Jay-Z's super duper fans, you know, they're around his age, maybe a little bit younger.
they're
These
our
are,
age.
Yeah, exactly.
They're our age,
At this
yeah.
point, these are people that have supposedly jobs and
Families and
the-
grown.
for
and-
a
no, but
Ks and
what I'm
pensions.
saying is his audience has more of a disposable income,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to someone whose core audience is 22 to 25 years old.
That's
Right.
facts.
You know,
That's facts.
and
Good
like,
point.
I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit when we talked about the Victory Tour back in the day,
Yeah.
and how people were upset that they were charged $30.
Man, I wish.
Yeah, exactly. That was the most any ticket had ever been charged at that time to see
To
anybody.
see Mike.
I mean, what I'm not,
But people were upset because they were like, Mike, you know who your fans are. Younger people,
Right.
people from the inner city, they may not have the $30 to come see you. Now, when we're talking about Jay-Z, at this point, if you're a real Jay-Z fan, there are people who are like, look, they got it, or at least they should. You know, and like I know that's kind of a messed up way to look at things.
I mean, it's fair, though.
But I think that's kind of the mentality.
nobody's saying that he's not a good businessman.
No,
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
no,
For
no.
sure. For sure.
Right. But that argument kind of leans on that. You know what I mean? It's like, he's a good businessman. He understands that his fan base probably
What-
has a little bit more money.
It's what
Yeah.
the market will bear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Because
know what I
those
mean?
tickets weren't selling.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of what Live Nation does.
Yeah.
Like I know that's separate, maybe not even separate entities, because Rock Nation, Live Nation, it's all kind of, everything's kind of intertwined together.
The nation.
But you know, there are some artists out here, you know, because they sign these deals where they get the advance,
Yeah.
and when you know tickets aren't selling, you know, all of a sudden, hey, come see Megan Thee Stallion for $25.
Come on, man. But that's what all these legacy artists, though, when they go on tour, like we're talking about Jay-Z, whose fans are our age, a little bit younger, a little bit older. So think about an Aerosmith concert that's selling out stadiums.
Think about what they charge to see Billy Joel and Elton John.
Yeah.
You want to talk about numbers?
Yeah, crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at a certain point in an artist's career, that's just what you're going to expect to have to pay, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we may not like it, and I may not pay it. You may not pay it, but there are endless people that are going to pay that money to go see these artists.
That's
just
true.
because of the experience factor.
Yeah.
They said something like when Taylor Swift came here, it was like because she did like 3 nights. It was
like
three,
Super Bowl
It was
numbers.
like 3 Super Bowls in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The city made money. Everybody made
I
money.
know people who have Airbnbs because all the hotels
on,
were
man.
booked up. You
People
know,
about to get back this week for, like, speaking of anything, have y'all seen the ticket prices for the Final Four?
No.
Oh my God, I can't
Crazy.
imagine.
Are they?
Yes.
I can't imagine. Yeah,
I
I,
went
can't
to the
imagine.
Final Four like 10 years ago. Now, mind you, I had corporate hookups, so it was whatever
Tax
was,
write-off tickets.
yeah. So whatever was on that ticket was not what I was paying.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine what I think the price on the ticket was only like $175.
It ain't gonna be that this year.
But I guarantee you, especially if your team is in it, oh my God, had Purdue made it,
Listen,
it'd have
man.
been a wrap.
People were talking about the tickets to the national championship game, the IU game or whatnot. People were paying $5 and $6 grand for tickets.
On the low.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, it feels like money laundering. Like it just feels like, it just feels like there's there's a lot of shady shit going on in between
Yeah,
there.
for sure,
You know,
for
like,
sure.
and we mentioned it a few episodes back very briefly about how Ticketmaster was sued by the FTC, and that they settled for like
pennies,
like $280 million, and
which ain't nothing to them.
Yeah,
they'll make that up in what you gonna do about it fees.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I don't know. It just seems to be like again, this isn't really about Jay-Z. It's just more so about the
industry as a whole.
The industry in general, and kind of like the foul nature that it seems to kind of be in.
Yeah.
But when you make it, about like something that Jay-Z's doing, we'll be accused of things.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I mean, they've been running Jay-Z through the ringer this past week just based off of that interview.
And GQ joint, yeah.
But at the same time, like I was, going through our wonderful comments. Meet us in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and become a member.
That's where the action happens.
Yeah, that's where the real information goes down. But it was like, how dare this? It was another one of those, shut your white ass up.
Yeah.
How dare you be talking now that a black man is a billionaire? And, but it wasn't, our conversation was started because of Jay-Z, but it wasn't directly about Jay-Z.
Yeah.